Good morning, good afternoon, / good evening, everyone. Can you hear me and can you see me? Please comment into the chat box on the official OET platform and let me know if you can hear me and see me, just to make sure that all the technical aspects of this session are ready to go before we begin. I don't want to be talking to myself. So let's just have a look and see who has been commenting on the platform itself. So we have Jacob. Hello, Jacob Ladhar. We have Arowolo has also said hello. We have Atif. Hello, Atif. We have Bjoy Thomas as well. Well, welcome to the four of you. And of course, anyone else who comes to the session today, please also say hello to. Oh, we have someone said can't see or hear. Hopefully you can see or hear me now. That was from Lack. So everyone please comment in live and say, yes, I can hear you, or no, I can't hear you, to make sure everything is running fine. So we have Rose Ann. Hello, Rose. We also have Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina. Hello, Arawala. Oh, say hello to yourself. And hello to Bjoy. Okay, so we have Atif as well, has said hello. So hello to Atif, hello to Lack, hello to Rose Ann, hello to Jacob, etc. It's very, very nice to see you, and very, very nice to also hear you today as well. So first of all, welcome to today's session. I welcome you all into the class today. I want this session to be as interactive and as fun as possible. So the more you guys comment, the more questions that you ask, and the more you get involved with this session, the better. So please, please don't be shy and keep commenting. So without further ado, I just want to share with you my presentation today. So hopefully you have been told about what today's session is. It is vocabulary and phrases used in healthcare. So maybe something a little bit different to what you have obviously witnessed already. In terms of your OET preparation, everyone's probably been thinking about, oh, how can I improve my speaking? How can I improve my writing? How can I improve my reading? And how can I improve my listening as well, while actually focusing on each of these 4 skills involved in OET. But what about some things that might actually have been left out in your OET preparations, things that you also might not do typically in your OET preparation? And that includes, of course, improving your vocabulary and improving your phrases, especially your idiomatic language. So idiomatic language is something that we are going to look at today, specifically stuff that's used in the healthcare perspective. So welcome everyone, once again. You've all told me a bit about you. I'm going to get a bit more information about you in a little minute, but here's a bit of information about me. My name is Scott Johnson, and I am the Academic Director and OET teacher at Swoosh English. I have been an English language teacher now for many years, and I have had a lot of fun with getting to know many students and helping them help assist them on every aspect of the OET exam. I know how important and how high stakes it is, and how much you guys also want to improve your score in these exams. So I'm also from Ireland, by the way. So right now it is only 7 a.m. or sorry, 8 a.m. in Ireland. It's very, very early. So I'm sure it's much later, likely much later in the day for wherever you guys in the world, regardless if you are in Europe, you're in Asia, or you are in Australia. So I've told you a little bit about me. I would now love everyone to start commenting and tell me where you are from, and also when are you taking the OET exam. Just to get to know some of you guys today in this session, please comment onto the live feed. Where are you from? And also, when are you taking the Swoosh exam, sorry, the OET exam? I want this session to be as fun and as informative and I guess interactive today as possible. So I'm going to just come in here and say, okay, we've got some more comments coming in. I'm glad to say that most people have told me that they can hear me. That's fantastic. We got Jinsey. Hello, Jinsey. We got Parul. I can see some of our good Swiss students have logged into the session today. That is fantastic. We have Ali. Hello, Ali. We have Sumbai. Hello, Sumbai. We have Raksa. Hello, Raksa. Hello to Nathan. Hello to Idris. He said everything looks perfect. Fantastic. We have Saru. Well, hello to you, Saru, from the UK. Fantastic. Good. Let's see who else we've got. Kim Lumanog. I apologize if I get any names wrong today, by the way, too. So sincere apologies if my pronunciation is not perfect. Has said, what's the topic, sir? We'll talk about idioms in a moment. We have Ali who said, hi, greetings from Somalia. Well, welcome to Ali from Somalia. I'm glad to see you in the session now. Lack has also said, I can hear you. Fantastic. That's very good. All right, good. So we got a few people here have told me where they're from. We have Ali from Somalia, and we have a student also here from the UK. We got a few more comments coming in now too. We have Jisha. Hello, Jisha is from India. The exam is on October the 11th, so a good bit of preparation time for you, Jisha. That's great to hear. We have Malika from Singapore. Very nice, Singapore. I've been there once myself. It's a great city and a fun city to be in. We have Zainab said, good morning from Iraq. Well, good morning to you too, Zainab from Iraq. Hello, Arfa from Kashmir. Hello, Malik. Hello, Nora from Dubai, taking the test on the 25th of July as well. We have Ali from Saudi Arabia saying it is 10 a.m., only slightly later in the morning for yourself. We have Joan. Hello, Joan from the Philippines is taking the test on August the 8th. And we have Mohammed Salim from Pakistan, as well as Cheryl from Saudi Arabia. So we got a nice bunch of people here today from different time zones in the world, some slightly ahead in Europe or the Middle Eastern regions, and some from the Far East, including Singapore and Malaysia as well. Well, keep the comments coming through, guys. Throughout this session today, I want to get a chance to obviously answer some of your questions and get to know some of you on a more personal basis. So thank you for telling me a bit about yourself, and I hope you enjoy the session. So let's get started. So today's lesson is going to be on the following. This is what I want to cover today. We're going to learn about phrases and idioms used in common medical settings and situations. So as I said, today's session isn't explicitly going to be an OET-centric session. We're not going to do a lot of activities which you would typically do in OET listening, reading, speaking, or writing. We're going to do something a bit different today, but something that will still enhance your ability to perform well in the OET exam, because phrases and idiomatic phrases are very important to learn. We're, of course, going to do some activities to consolidate your knowledge of these idiomatic expressions, and then time permitting, we're going to do some practice responding to and applying to learned idioms in the OET speaking context as well. So phrases and idioms, vocabulary is the main topic of the day. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this session. So I have a question for everyone. Make sure you're commenting on the feed on the Facebook page itself. What is an idiom exactly? I've used this word. I'm going to be using this word a lot during this session. Can you tell me? Type into the comment box, what exactly is an idiom? Let's see what everyone knows in terms of their English language expressions so far. Have you come across idioms? I'm sure that most of you guys have come across idioms in your time learning English. I'm just moving my second screen a bit closer to me so I can see it a bit clearer. So let's see, what do you think an idiom is in your own words before we actually get to the definition of what it is itself? So let's just have a look and see who else has commented today. We have Plab2, hi from the UAE. I'm having an exam on the 25th of July. Greetings to you. We have April D. Sandrino from New Zealand. Well, welcome to you, Lee, as well. We have Lak, he's from Sri Lanka and taking the exam in Sri Lanka. We have Pratisha is taking the exam next month, August 8th. Wow, so a good amount of people here that are still talking and messaging me. Wow, a lot of people are saying they come from India as well. Fantastic, great. Well, as I said, welcome to everyone today, and thank you for coming. Let's see. Now, do we know what an idiomatic expression is? If we don't, I'm just going to get straight to it. An idiomatic expression is a group of words in a fixed order that have a particular meaning that is different from the meanings of each word on its own. So it's a phrase. It constitutes a phrase in the English language, and it does involve a particular set of words. They're combined to have a certain meaning. But the most important thing is that the meaning isn't necessarily logical. It isn't what you would assume if you took the various components of that phrase and joined them together. You would think, okay, well, that makes sense. But actually, the phrase by itself often has a very non-literal meaning. And as we can see here, I'm just going to highlight an idiomatic expression here from the Cambridge Dictionary that says, to have bitten off more than you can chew is an idiom that means you have tried to do something which is too difficult for you. So of course, when you think of have bitten off more than you can chew, you often probably think of someone biting and eating and chewing. but there's no biting and eating and chewing meant in the literal interpretation of that phrase. It means something completely non-literal, and that is to do something which is too difficult for you. For example, many of you guys could say that, oh, I'm doing the OET test in 1 week and I need to get 4 Bs in every section, but I can't. I can't get 4 Bs because I've only studied for 1 week for this exam. Oh, it's so difficult. I have bitten off more than I can chew. It is too difficult for me to get 4 Bs in the OET exam within 1 week, for example. So that's basically a bit of an example of what that meaning is. So let's have a look now at a few more idioms of the English language. But first of all, before we do look at some more of these idioms, does anyone know any idioms in the English language? Can you, first of all, tell me what the idiom is in terms of its structure? And even better, can you tell me what it means? What is its and what is the interpretation of that idiom, and what does it mean when it's applied into its context? So let's see some comments, guys, on the page. Let me know any idioms that you know in the English language, and also tell me what you think it means as well. So let's get commenting. So we have Drake has said, okay, Roseanne and Drake, all the comments are coming through now, have said phrases with underlying meaning. Fantastic. Drake said a group of words established by usage as having a meaning not deducible from those of the individual words. That's a very well crafted sentence, Drake. Very good. I like your use of the word deducible as well. So yeah, that's exactly what an idiom is. Sabrina has said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So Sabina, are there is there any scratching involved with that idiomatic phrase? Or what does it mean to you? Can you tell me what scratch my back, I scratch your back, you scratch mine actually means? Sabina said a group of words. Fantastic. And Manju, hello Manju, hi from Kerala. Well, welcome to you Manju as well, and welcome to the session as well. So good, we got one idiom that's been put in from Sabina. Does anyone have any other idiomatic phrases? Keep them coming in. I want to see them, and also if you can interpret what they mean. So here's a few common English language idioms. They are used quite often by native English speakers in everyday context. We have the first one, which is, let me just highlight it here, call it a day. So when we say call it a day, we mean to stop working on something. For example, I could say, it is getting late, let's call it a day and work on it again tomorrow. So I'm getting tired today, I've had enough, I'm very tired, there's a big project that's due, maybe I'm doing my OET writing, I've written my essay, I'm very tired, I don't want to proofread it yet, I'll get it assessed, I'll say, oh, it's getting late, I'll call it a day. I'll come back and do a bit more of it tomorrow because I'm going to stop working on something tonight. We also have one that maybe people have come across too, cost an arm and a leg, quite a common English language idiomatic phrase, which means very expensive. For example, that house must cost an arm and a leg. It's very, very, very expensive. Some of you guys might say the OET exam costs an arm and a leg. It is very, very expensive. Idiom, hit the sack, which means go to sleep. I often use this one myself quite a lot. I'm going to hit the sack. Now, of course, you think of the word hit. Does it mean to strike a sack? Is there a bag? Do I strike it? No, non-literal meaning. It means I'm going to bed. I'm going to hit the sack. I will see you in the morning. So here's an example of 3 idiomatic phrases, not medical in their meaning, but just an idea in terms of what the idiom is, what it means, and also how it can be applied in a real world example. So keep your idiomatic phrases coming through today, guys. I'm going to look at them in a moment. I want to see just how much and how well you can grasp the meaning of what an idiom is as we go through the session. So why is it important to understand idiomatic language in OET? Of course, I'd like to hear your own suggestions about why it is so important. But from an English teaching perspective, as I said, consistently through this session so far, they are commonly used in everyday English. So of course, when you're learning the building blocks of the English language, you're going to learn, obviously, the formal ways of grammar, sentence structure, speaking, vocabulary, etc. But you will come across people who do use idioms in everyday language. And of course, you will come across some examples in maybe in listening for sure, and maybe also in some of the speaking contexts as well. So they're commonly used in everyday language. And of course, they are quite hard to interpret, and often they all have individual meanings. So knowing them is important to converse and communicate in the language, like it is with your own language too. And as I said, they usually always have a non-literal meaning. So as good as your English might be, you come across this idiomatic phrase and think, what does that mean? Hit the sack, there's no sack involved. What does it mean? So a non-literal meaning, and you have to deduce what it means and then apply it also to conversation. So it's also equally important, not just to understand how to use them in a productive sense, aka with your speaking, but also to listen to, understand, respond, and apply them in terms of your own understanding and comprehension of the English language. So knowing the meaning of and how to apply and respond to idioms accurately and appropriately shows an advanced level of English. So of course, if you are able to understand idiomatic phrases and obviously not just use them, but apply to them and understand them, then it does show that you do have a highly advanced level of English, because that means you can communicate in an idiomatic sense with these terms, and with these terms are non-literal in their meaning and applied in different contexts. So it's very good to use them and understand them. And also, ultimately, I think idioms are quite fun to learn and to compare with those in your native language as well. I mean, there are so many idiomatic phrases. Some of them might think, wow, that's really interesting how that has been constructed. And some are also, they're pretty fun to understand about how they came about, how they were designed, and why they are so prevalent in the language today as well. And of course, comparing them to idioms in your own language might think, wow, it's a very different mindset, a very different way of thinking about how the language is used in my language versus the other one. So of course, important to understand at these phrases. Let's have a look and see if anyone's got any more fun idiomatic language. So we have April has said you're barking at the wrong tree. That's a good one. Barking at the wrong tree, meaning you got completely wrong. You're completely wrong regarding what you think about something. Sabina said that means you look after me and I will look after you. Yes, that's regarding the previous idiom you mentioned. Put yourself in her shoes, says T. Very good. What does that idiom mean as well? Keep them coming through. Hard to choose between devil and the deep sea, said Atif. Another great idiom. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Fantastic. So when you're in a different country, you do what they do. You follow cultural traits. Spill the beans to tell a secret, says Sumbal. Jonas said takes two to tango. I like that one as well. And Atif also said catch 22 position. Great examples of some idioms that have been used there and how they apply. Great. So as I said also, you will likely also encounter some of these phrases in the exam as well. So it's not necessarily using idioms, but also responding to them and understanding what they mean, especially if you're doing some listening in a healthcare context for part A and especially for part A, you may hear the doctor or the medical professional use an idiomatic phrase. You may hear the patient use an idiomatic phrase because they are informal. So if you hear them, you think, okay, well, if I understand what that means, that also might assist my understanding of what's coming and how it might be applied in my gap fill for part A and listening, for example. You also might hear an interlocutor use it in the speaking, for example. You might think, hey, what does that mean? If you do understand it, it will improve your chances of the language. All right, time for an activity. We're going to do an activity now where I'm going to show you a series of images which represent the literal meaning of an idiomatic phrase. So if I said an idiomatic phrase, you might think, oh, well, this might be what I picture in my head. Of course, this is not the actual meaning of this phrase, but what does it mean to you? So look at the picture here of, I guess I can say a karate grandma. What idiomatic phrase do you think that is? At death's door, alive and kicking, kick the bucket, or back on one's feet. These are 4 different idiomatic phrases, and they are used in a healthcare context, aka they either are used directly in a healthcare context or they refer to medical language to constitute the phrase itself. So everyone, what do you think is this idiomatic phrase? Do you think it's at death's door? Do you think it is alive and kicking? Do you think it is kick the bucket? Or do you think it is back on one's feet? Let's hear your comments, guys. Let's see who else is going to come in here. All right. Just waiting for the comments to come through while we see what we think this idiomatic phrase represents. Look at the image. What does it tell you? Maybe you know what these phrases are, and you can also apply it. Okay. I'll give everyone just a little bit longer to see what they think is the literal meaning of this idiomatic phrase. Okay, while I wait for the comments to come through, I'm just going to progress on with a bit of this slideshow. You guys can keep up with me if you can, but I'll try and go as slow as I can. This idiomatic phrase is alive and kicking. So of course, alive and kicking, you see a woman do a kick on the screen, you think, wow, alive and kicking. Yeah, so Obviously, the image itself, as I said, is not the actual literal meaning. There's a non-literal meaning to this idiomatic phrase. So what do you think alive and kicking means? So if someone said, I am alive and kicking, he or she is alive and kicking, that person is alive and kicking. What do you think that phrase actually means if it was going to be applied in the non-literal context? I'll just wait to see some comments come through. So Sabina has said, in my language, it is hard to make donkey see the difference between plain grass and saffron. That's a pretty complicated idiomatic phrase, Sabina, I must say. Fantastic. So what do you think that phrase means? I think it's a fantastic one. So alive and kicking, wait till the comments come through, means in good health despite some health problems. So we could say, for example, oh, my grandmother was ill with a UTI infection recently, but she has recovered and she is now alive and kicking. She is well. She is good, even though she has health problems. So at the height of our health. And that's why, of course, I have that picture, alive and kicking. Okay, here's another picture with 4 new idiomatic phrases. Some may have been applied so far. Let's see if we can guess. We've got a picture. Is it at death's door, as pale as a ghost, kick the bucket, or have 1 foot in the grave? Let's wait and see for some comments to come through. What do you think the idiom is, depending on the phrase that has been used? Okay, the comments are coming through now. I can see people, according to the previous one, said healthy and active, said T. Rose said active and alert and optimum health. Yep, pretty close. Adam has said death door means very unwell. Manju said, let the cat. Okay, we got some more comments coming through. I'm just going to skip. Oh, loads. Okay, so Sawira has said, kick the bucket for this one. Okay. Deborah said at death's door. T. Rihanna said, ring a bell. Alive and kicking, healthy, sleep dogs, lie. Okay, lots of material coming through. Arawola has said, hi Arawola from Nigeria. I'm just going to comment down now and see what people think about this phrase. So Zainab has said, kick the bucket. July has said, kick the bucket as well. And Nathan, hello, Nathan said, at death's door, nearly dying. All right, so we got 2 for at death's door, and we got 2 here for kick the bucket for this image on screen of the ghost. So the key is the word ghost. This one means as pale as a ghost. So have anyone come across this idiomatic expression before? Now, of course, at death's door and kick the bucket are also 2 idiomatic expressions as well. They are different, but I try to represent, the visual representation. We've got a ghost on the screen. It is white, and it is also very pale as well. So what do we think as pale as a ghost means? If I were to ask what do you think the literal meaning of pale as a ghost is, please comment in and tell me what you think that literal meaning is. So we got a few people have said about the previous message, said in good health despite health problems. That was perfect regarding alive and kicking. And Nathan Hyper said healthy, doing good as well. So that's very, very important. Oh, we got someone here who's joined the Zoom session. Hello from Kuwait. Fantastic. Nice to meet you, student. I couldn't see what your name was, but welcome to the session. So as pale as a ghost, I'm waiting for the comments to come through. There might be a bit of lag. I'm sorry. But anyway, it means extremely pale, usually from sickness. So if someone isn't very well, then we can say, oh, they're pale as a ghost. When you think if someone is not feeling very well and they're feeling quite ill, then we can describe them being as pale as a ghost overall. All right, so that can be from a minor sickness like a flu or something more serious as well. As pale as a ghost. All right, let's look at the next one. We have a picture of a person running on a treadmill. What do we think is the idiomatic expression being referenced here? Is it back on my feet? Is it break out in a cold sweat? Is it kick the bucket? Or is it have 1 foot in the grave? So of course, some of these have been referenced before. I must say that all 4 of these phrases are medical idioms, but which one do you think is being referenced in this picture? I'm looking forward to seeing your comments come through. Let me just see if I've got any more comments that have come through here on the page. So, yep, we got a few comments that have come through from the previous parts of the session. Sabina has said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You look after me and I look after you. Precisely, that's what it means. All right, waiting for the comments to come through. I'll read them as we go along. This one means back on my feet. So back on my feet, the meaning of that is physically healthy again. So I could say, oh, I have been ill for a long time, but I've got over my illness. I'm back on my feet and I'm good again. So the meaning from that probably comes about from, okay, if you're lying in bed the whole time, you're not actually on your feet. But when you do get on your feet, obviously, you are feeling well and you're feeling much, much better. So I'm back on my feet. Let me just see if any comments have come through. Hear your own interpretations of these images and what the meaning is. Just want to make sure that everything is coming through in the well. All right, yep, we got some comments coming through. Back on my feet, said Roseanne. Jasna said back on my feet, and Amanda said back on my feet. Aditi said back on my feet, and Raz also said back on my feet as well. Good, we got a lot of comments coming through. Everyone's got that one pretty well. Fantastic. So I have recovered and I am physically healthy again. Fantastic. Okay, what about this one here? We can see a surgeon's table. We have 4 idiomatic phrases. Take your medicine, under the weather, go under the knife, have 1 foot in the grave. What do we think is the literal meaning of this idiomatic phrase? Of course, all of them are idioms, but if you were to represent the picture with the idiom itself, what image comes to your head when you see each of those? So yep, everyone's got that idiom pretty easily. Let's have a look at our student who's come through on the sessions. Hello, Chandrika. Nice to meet you today, Chandrika. Welcome to the Zoom session. Has said go under the knife. Okay, so we have 1 vote for go under the knife. Let's see what everyone else has said under the session. Sawad has said go under the knife. Midhela has also said go under the knife. Fantastic. So go under the knife is the correct expression. And go under the knife, of course, means to have surgery. You could say, oh, the patient is going to go under the knife tomorrow. They are going to have an operation and go under some and have some surgery. All right, we've got a cute little dog here on the right-hand side. But which of the idiomatic phrases do you think it represents? Barking mad, under the weather, have 1 foot in the grave, or even as sick as a dog. So I've tried to reference at least 2 dog expressions in this. Maybe to throw it up a bit. Maybe you've come across these before, maybe you haven't. But what idiom do you think matches the image based on what we've heard? So yeah, a lot more students. Lack has said go under the knife for the previous one. Kim has said go under the knife. Yeah, we got that expression quite well. And of course, as doctors and surgeons, you will probably have come across that one before. All right, fantastic. So Vern has said sick as a dog. Jonas said sick as a dog. July, sick as a dog. Sylvana, sick as a dog. Fantastic. All right, that's good. And we'll have a look at our student here today. Chandrika has said sick as a dog too. Perfect. Sick as a dog is the correct answer. Well done, everyone. Can you tell me and apply what sick as a dog means? So if you were thinking about what it actually means and how you could apply it, you can write in a quick comment about the meaning of it. And even if you can, also apply it and use it in a sentence as well, which would be great. So Drake has said under the weather. You have a question mark. No, so yes, it could be under the weather. Under the weather, obviously, it has a similar meaning, which we're going to come into very soon in this session. But the more applicable image, when you look at the image itself and also the dog and look at the idiom, then that's the idea that we were trying to have here. So Savannah has said very sick. Yep, so that's pretty much what it is. Sick as a dog means you are extremely ill. I don't know why it's sick as a dog. I mean, are dogs supposed to be extremely sick? I don't know where the idiomatic meaning actually comes from, but it does mean extremely ill. You could say, oh, I've come down with a very, very bad illness. I'm feeling so bad. I am sick as a dog, would be how it might be applied in the context. All right. So that was a bit of a multiple choice selection idiomatic phrase activity. Let's now up the ante a little bit. So we've got 3 different images here, which once again represent the idiomatic phrase as you might interpret it literally. Have a look at the 3 phrases. So for the sake of labeling these, we'll say this one is A, this one is B, and this one is C. So I'm going to give everyone just a little bit of time to look at the idiomatic phrase. There's no multiple choice answers now. So it's literally what you think and how you can interpret it to mean. Type in, what do you think the idiomatic phrase is? What is A? We got a guy holding an umbrella. We got B, a guy holding an apple. And C, we got, looks like, I'm not going to say so much in case I give away too many clues, but what do we think that these three idiomatic phrases are from their literal meaning? So of course, be free here and feel free to think creatively about what they mean in case you don't know what the idiom is. I'm interested to hear anyone's interpretations of what these idiomatic phrases are, but we will go through some answers in terms of what they actually are supposed to mean. But of course, there may be some interpretations too. So let's see what we have. So Zainab has said, apple a day keeps the doctor away. Well, that's pretty obvious which one you're referring to that. Kinswe, hello Kinswe, if I got your name wrong, I apologize for that, has said A is under the weather. Fantastic, keep the comments coming in, guys. Kim Canless has said, under the weather for A. B, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And also for C, happy pill. Interesting with the happy pill one. Fantastic. Manju has also said under the weather for A2. Very, very good. Hello, Sarita has said an apple a day keeps a doctor away. Okay, we got a pretty confirmed consensus for what A actually is. Hello, Aileen has said as gloomy as the weather for A. B, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And C, taste your own medicine. Sandeep, hello, Sandeep has said under the weather for A. July has said under the weather for A. Atif has said under the weather for A as well. Fantastic. Okay, so we're pretty uniform in our response to what A is and also to what B is. We've got a few responses to C, but I do respect that one is a little bit trickier. All right, let's have a look at some of the answers to what this might be. A means under the weather. Fantastic, you got it. What does under the weather mean? Well, it simply means that you're not feeling very good today. Not in terms of being physically ill, but more so just, a bit depressed, a bit sad for the day. You think about outside when it's raining, no one likes to see a really, really rainy day, especially from Ireland. We get it quite a lot. I'm feeling under the weather today. I'm just not that happy. I'm not in the best mood. Under the weather. B, we got it. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So literal meaning of that would be is to keep as healthy as you can and not go to the doctor. Of course, apples are synonymous with being healthy, but it doesn't literally mean just eat apples, but anything else. Okay, C. We had a few responses to that one, but the interpretation of this one is laughter is the best medicine. Has anyone come across this idiomatic phrase before? Laughter is the best medicine. Let me know. And also, can you tell me what you think laughter is the best medicine means? What would be your interpretation of it? Okay, let's have a look at some more of the comments here. We have, it's chill pill for C. Interesting, chill pill. We're thinking about what it literally is. It's a pill and a chill pill as well. Okay, we got happy pill was another interpretation of that. That's a good one, actually. And looking at that image itself, I can see why some people had chosen happy pill as an idiomatic phrase. That's okay. So happy pill, the hill is very happy. But the idiom I was trying to represent was laughter is the best medicine. So what do we think laughter is the best medicine means when we think about what that phrase is? Joan's got a nice little laughy face there. Good. Laughter is the best medicine, Joan. I'm very happy that you are at least laughing on this. All right. Let's keep them coming. What do we think? Be happy always. Yeah, fantastic, Nathan. So a positive attitude, says Phoebe. Savannah has said being positive is important in keeping healthy. Yeah. Parul, hello Parul, has said laughing is a good process for healing soon. Raz, hello Raz, has said always be happy. Well, that's pretty much it. You think about it, when you have a good laugh, no matter how bad you feel about anything, you feel much, much better. Get those endorphins released, get your face muscles stretched. Everyone loves a good laugh. So laughter is the best medicine. We literally have a medicine that is laughing. That was my idea behind that. But I liked your other ideas as well about what it could be, a happy pill after all. Good. All right. Those are the three phrases. Let's have a look at three more different idiomatic images here. What do you think the idioms are according to the three images? So I'm just once again going to label these as A, B, and C. Maybe it's not that clear, but I'm sure you guys can see there the labeling of A plus B plus C. What do we think those three idiomatic phrases are? And we'll have a look. So let's have a look at what everyone's written. Midhala has said, be happy always. I agree. I agree. Joan has said, optimum recuperation with a laughy face. Fantastic. Laughter is the best medicine. Sarita has said, a good, happy life. Abdul, be happy, stay safe. Nathan, let the problem solve itself. Positive attitude. Fantastic. And that's something I obviously like to advocate with anyone who's taken the OET exam as well, no matter how difficult it may be, no matter how much you have to study, how stressed you may be in your OET studies, or anything you approach in life, it's always good to have a laugh and be happy at the same time, because it should be taken relatively easygoing and fun after all. Everyone is much better when they are laughing. Very good. All right. Sabina has also said being optimistic and believing in goodness and justice is great. So I'm fantastic, guys. Keep these comments coming. And I love how you're all trying to formulate your own thoughts into what these idioms are and expressing yourself via written English. This is fantastic. Some of your ideas are good. And I'm very impressed with your overall sentence structure in talking about pretty complicated ideas as well. So good writing practice for everyone as well. Good to see. Okay, so what do we think about A, B, and C? What are the three phrases? Let's have a look and see what's come through. I'll just start from the bottom. A has Joyce has said A is sad. I like it. Yeah, the image itself is quite sad, but it's not an idiomatic expression, I'm afraid. Alka has said a foot 1 foot on the grave, have 1 foot in the grave, says Dana. Ahmed has said 1 foot in the grave. Atif has said 1 foot in the grave. Libra has said at foot death's door. Joyce Abbey has said C, positive. Okay, I like the ideas behind these, Joyce, but let's try and think of idiomatic phrases. Midhala has said A, have 1 foot in the grave. Once again, Abhishek has said 1 foot in the grave, and Sabina has said C, on top of the moon. Oh, on top of the moon. Interesting. If the moon looks like that in that picture, Sabina, I want to go to the moon. It looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we got 1 foot in the grave. Most people are pretty confirmed or pretty uniform consensus about what A is. We've had no comments for B at all. Does anyone have an idea about what you think B may be? And also keep a few more comments coming through also for C, which would be great to see. Okay, let's have a look. Right. Mo has said B, the more the merrier. There's a lot of people there, so maybe it is more the merrier. This is why I think idioms are fun, how we interpret what they mean. July has said put 1 foot in the grave. Mo has said number C, letter C is over the top. Okay, I like that interpretation. Manju has said feel free as a bird. Okay, that's a good one too. Feet on the sky, says Sandy for C. All right, Kim Canlas has said A, 1 foot under the grave. B, the more the merrier. C, on top of the world. C, feel free as a bird, says Alka. Abdul has said A, foot in the grave. B, unanswered, unfortunately, and C, top of the world. All right, so our two winners today for this phrase in terms of how many you got correct for A and C are Abdul. Well done, Abdul. And also, well done to Kim Canlis. You both got A and C correct. Well done. So let's have a look at some of these phrases here now. So A is 1 foot in the grave. Well done. Can anyone tell me about what 1 foot in the grave means? So if I told someone, if I used that phrase, what would I be trying to say if I'd said 1 foot in the grave? Let's now talk about the idiomatic meaning and how it can be applied. So Sahara said over the moon. Oh, Zainab has said the family happy together. Yes, it is the family happy together, but it's not an idiomatic phrase, Zainab, but I like it. Joel Maria said birds with same feather flocks together. And I love that laughy face too as well. There we go. Laughter is the best medicine, people. Very, very good. Diana has said be togetherness. Raz has said top of the hill. Everyone's interpretation coming through. Fantastic, guys. I love how you're engaging with this. Atif, something related to exercise. Yes, Atif, it does relate to exercise in terms of the terminology and also the amount of people as well, trying to understand what that means. Okay, what do we think 1 foot in the grave means? So So Nars has said close to death. July has said near death as well. 1 foot in the grave. Jet has said life at stake, like for pregnant mothers giving birth. Yeah, so 1 foot in the grave means you are very close to death. You might not be very well. You might have a serious illness, or maybe you are just engaging in very reckless and destructive behavior regarding your health. You are 1 foot in the grave. So a bit of a depressing one, I'm sorry. That's what it means. Okay, we weren't sure about B. B is runs, because people are running in the family, because there's a big family of people together. That's what I tried to reference with that picture. Has anyone come across runs in the family before? And also, if you have, or even if you haven't, what do you think runs in the family means? Vicky has said for B, family planning. Yeah, maybe not really an idiomatic phrase, but yep, I like how you're trying to think about what the image represents. Very good. So what do we think? What do we think it means? Runs in the family. Have you come across this phrase before? And tell me what else do you think it means. That'd be very, very good to hear. So we got a lot of interpretation coming through for 1 foot in the grave from Abdul, Sahar, Imad, etc. has said close to death. All right. So runs in the family talks about either genetical traits or oh, we got a comment here to see who's written here. We got Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome to the session on Zoom today. Runs in the family means might be hereditary, or yes, it does. It might be hereditary, or else it might be some characteristics or traits that people may have picked up from people in their family. But for the medical context, it means might be hereditary. So well done with that. Okay, we got more comments coming through. Emma has said inherited. Nars has said hereditary. Joan has said diabetes runs in the family. Yep. Muzamil, welcome to the session. Muzamil Ahmed has said it's genetic. So where like father like son, another idiomatic phrase, but it also can be applied the same way. Genes, diabetes, hereditary. Yes, so if it runs in the family, it is hereditary. So maybe some people might have a certain predisposition to developing a disease. It might run in the family, like heart disease, diabetes, something else. It runs in the family. All right. And the last one we got, on top of the world as well. Some people got that one correct. The man is literally on top of the world. It might be Mount Everest. It might not be. I don't know. But the image is this person is very high up and they're feeling quite good. So what do we think on top of the world means? If someone said they were on top of the world, what would that mean, and how would that apply in a idiomatic context? Talents in the family. Yeah, that could also be what runs in the family means, Maria. It can mean talents in the family. That's great. Okay, let's hear some comments come through about what this means. So Elizabeth has said, so pleased. Yeah, it literally means I am in such a good and happy mood. I am so pleased and I am so happy about something. I am very, very happy. My mood is very good. Oh, I've just got a job promotion. Oh, I've just passed the OET exam. I'm on top of the world. I am so, so happy. So I hope that some of you guys can actually apply that to how you feel once you pass the OET exam. I'm on top of the world. So it means feeling happy and satisfying, happy at most, success. Yep, very happy. We've all got it. So yep, it can be used obviously in talking about mood and how people's mood have been applied after listening to a doctor or a nurse, after getting some great examples. So yep, here we have some of the meanings, guys. We've kind of done this activity already previously throughout, but here's basically the meaning with the phrase of the session, but we've kind of talked about that already. Let's have a look and see how we can match some of these phrases just so that everyone understands. An apple a day keeps the doctor away means eating healthy foods will keep one from getting sick. Feel on top of the world means to feel very, very happy and also very, very healthy. Under the weather means not feeling very well. I'm just making sure there's nothing else here that could be quite similar, but nope, there's no other real options I can see. Under the weather means I'm not feeling very well. It can often also mean I'm quite sad as well, maybe a bit depressed, but I'm not feeling very well. 1 foot in the grave means close to death or in a terrible condition. Laughter is the best medicine means being happy, jovial is a lot is a very effective means of recovering from physical or mental injury. And then finally, runs in the family means hereditary traits or symptoms of a condition or disease. That's it. Those are 6 very common idioms that can be used in medical idioms in the medical context, which can be applied and can be used. All right. I'll just ask if anyone has any questions about any of these idioms that have been used so far, and any questions about what has been done so far too in this session. So I hope everyone's enjoying it. Now, I just want to ask, how is everyone enjoying this session today? Are you having a good time? Are you learning some things about idioms that you maybe haven't encountered before? And I hope you're getting a lot out of this session. Let me know what you guys think about it as we come to, slightly over the halfway point of this live stream today. How do you feel about the idiomatic phrases that have been used? So Quince has said, very happy. I don't think you meant very happy about what I said. I think you meant very happy in terms of what the idiomatic phrase top of the world meant. That'd be very good. Niraj, welcome to the session. Niraj, thank you very much for joining. I said, having a good time, sir. Really enjoying. Well, I'm very happy that you are also enjoying this session today, Niraj. So as I said, I'm an academic director and teacher at Swoosh English. We are an online premium preparation provider for the OET exam. Now, some of you guys may, of course, be involved with OET already. You may already be taking some preparation, but we would love to help some of you guys pass the OET exam as well with some of our great courses from our premium preparation providers and teachers. We have helped thousands of students pass the exam before. And if you're very interested in terms of what we offer, we've got a variety of package. Please check out www.swooshenglish.com. Come over, check out our packages, join our Facebook page, come onto our YouTube page, come and say hello to me as well. I'd be very, very happy to help some of you guys pass the OET exam as we have for thousands of other students. So please come along and I'd be very happy to hear and see you. Hello, Elizabeth has said you are a very supportive teacher. Your approach is so good. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That's a nice compliment, and I really appreciate you saying something like that to me. Even though it's very early in the morning, 8:48. I've been up since 7 a.m. British summertime, getting prepared for this session. I'm feeling quite active and quite good to go because I enjoy teaching I enjoy teaching students. I really, 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 really want and enjoy helping students pass every exam that I've helped them with, whether it's IELTS, whether it's OET, PTE, etc. But OET is a high stakes exam, and I'm very, very happy to appreciate. And I really appreciate that comment today as well. So thank you very much for that kind comment, Elizabeth. And everyone, guys, check out www.swooshenglish.com. I'd appreciate it. All right. So let's move on to another activity here, guys. It's I fill in the gaps with a suitable idiomatic phrase. So maybe it might be a bit difficult, this. I haven't actually included any of the idiomatic phrases as answers, but what I wanted to get out of this approach was for you to think about what idiomatic phrases actually can be used and how can they apply to the context of the sentence. Now, of course, I have a very clear idea about what idioms I've used. They have been idioms. The answers are idioms which have been used previously in this session. But I didn't want to include an answer in case anyone else could think of another idiom which could be applied, and it could be applied successfully to this gap fill. And that means it just makes you a bit more creative about what sentences can be used. So let's have a look and see what they can be. The serious illness of my friend. Let's have your comments come through. Let's have a look at some people's comments here. Oh, I really, 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 really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for all your great comments coming through. You're all so nice. Laughter is the best medicine. Everyone's feeling very positive today. That makes me very, very happy. So thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Chitana. Thank you, Sylvanas. Thank you, July. Thank you, Lack. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Abhishek. I said, where should we use these phrases in OET? Now, Abhishek, I will get to that phrase. I will get to that answer very, very soon. But basically, when it comes to OET, when it comes to idioms, you shouldn't use them for the sake of using them. Because if I told you, oh, it's good for your advanced English and you should use idioms, actually, it might not be a good thing because idioms can also be overused, which actually can affect your score because you're just being thrown in. So the most important thing I want to talk about, Abhishek, regarding idioms is that it's very good for you to obviously to use them, but also maybe to recognize them and understand them. You might hear them in OET listening. You might come across a phrase in OET reading. You might even hear the invigilator on the OET exam day use an idiomatic phrase in the response. And that's why it's important for you to understand when they're being used and respond to them appropriately for a sake of communication. Yes, you can use idioms in OET speaking if they're used appropriately, but it's important also not to overuse these idioms as well, because they are very, very informal. And I just want to make that clear to you, Abhishek. So it depends. I hope the most important thing you get out of today's session is that you recognize these idioms and how they're used, and you can apply them as such. Thank you, Sabina. Thank you, Saru. Thank you, Reshma. Thank you, Hashan. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you, Sabrathini. I'm very sorry. I probably got that name wrong. Thank you, Sahar. Thank you, Jinsi. Thank you, Midhala. Thank you, Bula. Thank you, Libra. Oh, there's so many people. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nars. Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you, Zainab. I really appreciate those very, very kind comments. All right. So anonymous attendee has said, do you take classes regularly in Zoom, sir? Well, I do represent Swoosh English today, anonymous attendee. So if you are interested in taking some classes with me as your OET teacher or someone else, then please check us out at www.swooshenglish.com so we can help you pass your OET exam. Okay, have we got any comments coming through on this activity? I would love to see what some of your comments are. The serious illness of my friend. My boss has been blank all week and has not come to work during that time. Have an apple for a snack instead of those chips. Blank after all. I had a coronary bypass surgery last winter, but I am still blank. I'm going blank next month to try to solve my knee problems. Hope it helps. So we have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Please comment in to the box with the respective number. You don't have to type out the whole sentence. It's not necessarily important, but see what idiomatic phrase you can use. And also think about your grammar and your vocabulary. The idiomatic phrase may have to be reformulated depending on the sentence overall. I like that, Atif. I want to hit the sack and it's almost 2 a.m. in Canada. Just kidding. I'm wide awake. A session is so interesting and I'm thoroughly enjoying and it's quite knowledgeful. Oh, great. Thank you, Atif. If you want to hit the sack, you are more than welcome to do so. I don't want to keep you up, especially if it's very early in the morning. Getting a good night's sleep is important, but thank you. And I appreciate your very, 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 very kind words as well. All right. So Jomal has said, 1 runs in the family. The serious illness runs in the family of my friend. Yep, that could apply. July has said, sick as a dog. My boss has been sick as a dog all week and has not come to work during that time. Fantastic. July has also said, runs in the family for number 1. My serious illness runs in the family of my friend. Silvana has said, too sick as a dog, aka my boss has been sick as a dog all week and has not come to work during that time. Fantastic responses, guys. Let me just refresh and see if any more come through. Oh, wow, lots of responses. You guys are very, very quick. Fantastic. Let me just see. Rose has said 1 runs in the family, 2 under the weather, and 3 an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Have an apple for a snack instead of those chips. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. After all, well applied. Very good. Pimpala, hello Pimpala, a new name today, has said number 2, my boss has been under the weather all week and has not come to work. Yep, that's well applied. July said apple a day makes the doctor away or keeps the doctor away. I like how you've used it, but you used the verb keeps and not makes. Lindsay has said have sun. I'm not sure which one that applies to, but thank you for your response. Okay, Abdul's got quite a few here. 2 under the weather. Good. Excuse me. 3, an apple keeps the doctor away for number 3. Number 4, feel 1 feet in the grave. Okay, 1 foot in the grave. Yeah, don't forget 1 plus foot. Feet is plural, so keep that in mind, Abdul. Let's have a look. I had coronary bypass surgery last winter, but I still feel 1 foot in the grave. Maybe could be applied. And number 5, I'm going under the knife next month to try and solve my knee problems. Hope it helps. Yes, so you often go. So there's a collocation there as well. Go plus under plus knife. So that one could be applied. And Silvana has also said, okay, alive and kicking for number 4. I had coronary bypass surgery last winter, but I'm still alive and kicking. Okay, very good. Great responses. Under the knife for 5, etc. as well. 1 run in the family, says Zainab. Sawara under the knife. Zainab sick as a dog for number 2. Alive and kicking for number 4. Great responses, guys. Well done. So here are my sample answers for this session. And many of you managed to get a lot of these correct. So well done. 1, the serious illness runs in the family of my friend. Very, very, very well done. It's hereditary. It means the person may have also taken that illness as well. Number 2, my boss has been under the weather all week and has not come to work during that time. So he's been either quite sick or also under the weather, can also refer to being a bit sad as well. But in this context, it means quite sick. Good. Have an apple for a snack instead of those chips. An apple a day keeps the doctor away after all. Very good, guys. Well done for that one. And nice for also picking up the cue of apple being in this and also being in the sentence too. Number 4, I had coronary bypass surgery last winter, but I am still alive and kicking. Well done for most of you guys that got that, which means, of course, the person had a very large operation involving a coronary bypass surgery, but they're still alive and they're still well, despite having had to have heart surgery. So they're feeling happy and they're feeling confident that their health is still good despite this big complication. And then number 5, I'm going under the knife next month to try to solve my knee problems. I hope it helps. So I'm getting surgery next month. So I'm going under the knife to get some knee surgery. Fantastic, guys. Well done. Appreciate those. We've got 5 more. Let's see if we can apply some more idioms to their meaning in these sentences. Number 1, my uncle is very sick and has blank. I think, number 2, I think the best thing for you right now would be to spend some time with people you can joke around with, blank after all. 3, did you have a good vacation? Not really, I was as blank the whole time. Number 4, my mother is blank after being sick for 2 weeks. And 5, I have been so happy and blank since I quit my job. So in addition to this, guys, it is also very important for you to practice your skimming and scanning skills, as well as highlighting any key details. So there are some words in these phrases which may give a clue to what idiomatic phrase might be learned. I was initially a bit concerned, thinking that you guys might have found this a little difficult in terms of there's no set answers. You have to think about what idioms have been used today and also then apply them in context, but you're all doing a great job at using these idioms by a great application. So well done, well done. Okay, let's see some comments as they come through. What idiomatic phrases do you think applies to these sentences? And once again, look at the key words in the sentences, look at the key details as you would for your skimming and scanning for your reading skills for OET. So this could be a useful exercise for you, and see what you think some of these answers are. Let me just have a look and see at the comments. What do we think we have in terms of answers? All right, very good. Okay, let's have a look. Let's scroll down to some of the comments here. Okay, so Sawera has said for number 4, my mother is sick as a dog after being sick for 2 weeks. Yep, that could be applied. We'll see what the answer is. Zainab has said sick like a dog for number 3. Did you have a good vacation? Not really. I was as sick. I was sick like a dog. So yep, that's a good answer. We'll think about the grammar very soon. Nars has said alive and kicking. My mother is alive and kicking after being sick for 2 weeks. And Jamal has said number 4, my mother is under the weather after being sick for 2 weeks. Zainab says, sorry, sick like a dog. Yep, that's okay, Zainab. Nice little correction there. Jamal has said number 5, under the knife. I have been so happy and under the knife since I quit my job. Has the person been in a surgery since they quit their job, Jamal? Think about that one. Narcissa has said 1 foot in the grave for number 1. My uncle is very sick and has 1 foot in the grave. That could actually be a good one that applies depending on the context. Impala has said 2, laughter is the best medicine. I think the best thing for you right now would be to spend some time with people you can joke around with. Laughter is the best medicine after all. Okay, that applies very well. And the key word to that might be the word joke. So well done for picking up on that. Savannah has said number 5, on top of the world. I have been so happy and on top of the world since I quit my job. That could apply. We've got the key word happy. People sometimes don't like their jobs. They want to quit and apply it to something else as well. So let's have a look at some answers in a minute. Let's see who's commented on the Zoom group. So Niraj has said laughter is the best medicine for number 2. Good answer. For number 4, Elizabeth has said, my mother is pale as a ghost after being sick for 2 weeks. That could apply, yes. Number 5, Elizabeth has said, I have been so happy and feel on top of the world since I quit my job. Great. And then number 2, laughter is the best medicine as well. Great answers, guys. Thank you so much for your suggestions. Here are some of the suggested answers that I have. So of course, I've actually said that some people's answers will apply. After all, there isn't a single answer for many of these. They can be used and they can be applied. Number 1, the suggested answer I have is my uncle is very sick and has 1 foot in the grave, aka he's very close to death. 1 foot in the grave. Number 2, most of us got that one right too. I think the best thing for you right now would be to spend some time with people you can joke around with. Laughter is the best medicine after all. Did you have, that's a good one. Well done. We all got that one correct. Number 3, did you have a good vacation? Not really. I was as sick as a dog the whole time. And of course, the key word to suggest what that phrase was, because we're using a comparative phrase, as and as. So as sick as a dog. Of course, there are some other phrases that could have been used there as well, but this is one that can apply. Number 4, my mother is back on her feet after being sick for 2 weeks. Well done. So she's back on her feet. I mean, she's well again. She's ready to go, and she has recovered from her illness after being sick for 2 weeks. And then number 5, finally, I have been so happy and feeling on top of the world since I quit my job. So that's the answer to that one there, guys. Well done for getting some of those idiomatic phrases. Let's have a look. Oh, yep, some more comments have come through. I'm just having a look from people, and yep, we've managed to get quite a lot of them. I like how Abdul and a few other students also mentioned how number 4 could be my mother is pale as a ghost after being sick for 2 weeks. Yeah, it means that you could potentially think that she's still ill. She's been sick for 2 weeks and she still is ill and also quite pale from it as well. But the meaning behind what I was trying to do was that she's feeling well again. But yep, context is everything. And if we applied that context, Abdul, that could also work as well. So well done. And under the weather, I was see number 3, July can't be under the weather because you can't say not really. I was as under the weather the whole time. So I like your approach, but as we can see grammatically, it actually doesn't work. Okay, we got some really good answers there, guys, though. Well done for getting some of those phrases correct. And thank you so much for some of your absolutely fantastic answers regarding those idiomatic phrases. All right. Well done, guys. I really, 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 really appreciate everyone taking the time to come along today and learn some more about idiomatic phrases today. And I hope that you found the session to be incredibly useful and you picked up lots of good information about how idioms can be applied. So you did a great job of thinking about that. Before we finish the session today, guys, I'm going to leave you with a bonus idiomatic activity. I have 3 more idioms here. I want you to think about what these 3 idiomatic words can mean in terms of what we've done. We look at the image, how these can be applied, and also what we think the idiomatic expression can be. Of course, you can comment in your answers now, but I'm leaving it to you for homework to go away and do some more research on some more idiomatic expressions and how they can be used in a healthcare context. So as I also said today, guys, Abdul also, of course, asked this. I think it was Abdul asked this question earlier on, maybe it was Asif, was that the main thing I want to say about idiomatic expressions is that yes, they can be used in OET, but it is important not to overuse them in OET. I think the main thing from this session today was that I wanted to highlight how idiomatic expressions can come up in reading activities. They can come up in listening activities. Obviously not really in writing activities because idiomatics are very, very informal, whereas writing, you're going to write in a very formal genre and style. So it's important to recognize them when you hear them in listening potentially, and also when you may read about them as well in certain reading sections as well. If you know what they mean, how they can apply, that can facilitate your understanding of answering questions involving them. You also may hear an invigilator or an interlocutor use some of these idioms in the OET speaking. They may do. Of course, it's up to the invigilator to actually take the role play as they see fit. But if you come across any of these phrases or expressions or other idiomatic phrases related to the medical healthcare context, you can say, okay, now I know when the invigilator says as sick as a dog. Okay, I know what he means now by saying under the weather. oh, I know what he means now by saying laughter is the best medicine. And I can apply to that in the context of the role play and respond to it appropriately, showing very good communication skills. And that's what's important. Of course, you are free to use these in the healthcare perspective, but be careful about overusing them. So maybe one, if you can use it appropriately and use it correctly, that's fine. But be wary about thinking, oh, I've learned all these idioms. I can now go into the OET speaking and use lots and get great marks. Don't overuse them, because if someone's speaking idioms the entire time, it's not how a native speaker would often speak. They're often used quite sparingly and only when appropriate, but don't try and show off by using lots of them in the session itself. That's my advice to you guys. All right. Once again, I'll just leave you quickly with the bonus idioms. Tell me what you think they mean. Take a picture if you want, and comment in, and also do your own research on idiomatic expressions and also what they mean today. Okay. Oh, the answers quickly came up there. I'm just going to skip over those. Okay, guys, so once again, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to take a bit of time now for about 5 or 10 minutes or so just to answer any questions that you may have about idiomatic language, about the OET exam regarding idiomatic language. I'd be very, very happy to answer some of your questions. And also, you can give me some feedback on this session today. First of all, do you have a better grasp of the practice idiomatic expressions today? Did you feel like the session was useful? Did you find that learning idioms was important for your OET studies and also for your general English studies as well? What do you think you did well today in terms of responding to the session? Were you good at using the said idiomatic phrases? Also, what would you like to improve on? Would you like to also improve your understanding of idioms and how you can apply them in the OET context or even respond to them more appropriately? And also, do you have any other quick questions about idiomatic language? I'd be very, very happy to help you. Okay, we got some great answers coming through. Kim Canlas has said number 1 was splitting headache, 2 was cost an arm and a leg. Very good. And C was at death's door. So Kim, I can confirm that 2 of them are right. I'm not going to say which 2 are correct. I don't want to spoil it for anyone else who's trying to answer some of these phrases. All right, very good. So Sawera has said, can we use idioms during our speaking task in the exam? As I pointed out, use them sparingly and only use them when appropriate. Don't overuse idioms because native speakers wouldn't speak that way, and it can be a bit confusing to the invigilator. Most importantly, learn how to respond to idioms when you hear them being used or you read them being used, that you understand what they mean. So that would be my my advice for that. Keep the comments coming through, guys, for another 5 minutes or so. I'd be happy to answer any questions about how I can help you. Okay, so Kim Canless has said black and blue for another answer. Well done, Kim. I confirm you've got all 3 answers right. Well done. Fantastic for those. Nars said, I saw the answers. I know laughter is the best medicine, Nars. I messed up. I apologize for showing you those answers. I didn't mean to do so. But anyway, we got them all right. Very good, guys. Thank you so much for being such an active bunch today, sending me all your comments, sending me all your likes, and sending me all your love as well. I really appreciate that everyone is you're all a very dynamic bunch and asked many questions and got really involved in the session today. So it was fun. I did try to make the idiomatic expressions lesson a bit different to what you might have done with your OET studies in general, and just have a bit more fun, because English can be fun even outside of exam preparation context. So well done for everyone getting involved today. Let's have a look and just see some comments before we finish off. So we've got, yep, pale as a ghost. Oh, we got those sessions from earlier on. Very good. Hello, student. We begin with 1KM. Yep, fire away and ask your question if you like. I'll try and answer it in a minute. Let's see if we get any more comments. So good. Thanks, Kim. Thank you very much to you, Kim. I really appreciate your comments today and being so involved with the session. And Abhishek has also said, waiting for your next session. I'm doing a session next week, guys, at the same time. Friday, 8 a.m. British Standard Time. I don't know, sorry, British Summer Time. I'm not sure obviously what time that is in your own country, Abhishek, but tune in next week when I expand upon the vocabulary session with a new vocabulary session on phrasal verbs and other collocated language as well. So please tune in next week, and I'll be very happy to help you out with some more fun language learning. So keep the comments coming through, guys. I'll be very, very happy to help you out. 1KM, your response about the online OET exam, you'd be best to actually check out the FAQs or message OET directly about that regarding when that's due to begin. I can't give any confirmed answers regarding that. So please get in contact with OET themselves and they can give you an answer about when that exam is ready to launch. But there are trial phases going on right now, so hopefully not too far away. All right. Julia said, we'll watch your next session. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for your comments and your feedback and also all your kind words once again. Pimpala has said, where can we find idiomatic phrases that can always cover idioms and OET test questions? So Pimpala, there aren't any idiomatic phrases that will for sure come up in the OET exam. There's no resource that will actually tell you, oh, these idioms will be used in OET and they'll be used in this test. They may come up, they may not come up. So it's a bit ambiguous. So what I recommend in general, Pimpala, is that you learn general English idiomatic phrases, increase your knowledge of how they're applied, especially ones that may be used in a healthcare context, but this is more about general English today, how it can be applied to the medical perspective. So I can't give you a definitive answer in that. I'm very sorry, but just try and learn your own idiomatic language and expressions in English to improve your knowledge of these, and therefore you can listen to them and hear them as they are applied in the OET context. So of course, listen to various pieces of podcasts, medical journals, broadcasts, read around yourself in English. Try and find some resources online. There are many places, if you just type in Google, which have lots of free resources. ISL Collective is one that's pretty good that you can find to help you with various idiomatic language, but you'll have to find those resources from what you see. Okay, guys, so I just want to finish the session today by once again reminding you that I come from Swoosh English. We would be very, very happy to help anyone who has yet to maybe pick a premium preparation provider for their English language exams to come and have a look at what we offer at Swoosh English. We have helped thousands of students pass their OET exams, and we love to help you pass your OET exams too, regardless if you're a nurse or a doctor, or you also are another discipline altogether. So I'm just going to quickly show everyone before we finish the Swoosh English website. So as we can see, we have packages for OET, IELTS, and PTE, and we have a variety of different packages which can be used depending on what you need. Here is an example of our 5 packages, including intensive. We offer many things: video courses, we have an exam readiness test, we have a letter model answer bank, we have 80 previously corrected bank letters, we have mock exams ranging from 7 all the way up to 8, which have been crafted to replicate the OET experience as you would do the exam. We have a writing correction service where your corrections are marked 7 days a week by our premium OET providers and our teachers. And of course, you get a lot of writing corrections per package. We also have a variety of live classes and a lot of support that we have for you as well. And of course, you have the option of taking one-on-one classes with some of our packages as well. So please come over, as I said, to www.swooshenglish.com. Check out our packages, come to our Facebook page as well and our YouTube channel and see what we have to offer. We would love to help all of you guys out. So thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time once again to come today. I hope that you really appreciated the session and you have a good grasp of how idiomatic language may now also be used in the OET context, whether you're listening to it, whether you're reading it, or maybe you're responding to it in your speaking, or even using it in your speaking today. So thank you, Pimpala. Thank you, Bula. Thank you to everyone for coming today. I really, really appreciate it once again. And yes, as I said, next week at the same time, I will be hosting another session here live on OET, expanding upon the big theme of vocabulary used in the healthcare and OET context, talking about phrasal verbs, the lovely phrasal verbs, as well as other collocated language as well. So make sure you check in next week, NARS, as well as other students who have actually asked about that session. So thanks a lot, guys. I'm getting tongue-tied now. I've been talking for 75 minutes straight. Thanks again for coming today, guys, whether it's very early in the morning for some of you guys or very late in the evening. Have a lovely day. I appreciate everyone coming, and I will see you all soon. Have a great day. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye.